Right, Manchester United beat Sunderland yesterday, in which was a very comfortable win in the end, which was not very usual to see by Manchester United. These are going to be the 5 biggest takeaways we learned from the game. And yeah, let's get into it. I mean, it was a comfortable win, a great result, and the 3 points with a clean sheet. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is LAMMENS. I think he was the player on the pitch who had the best performance, and AMORIM talked about how he didn't want to throw him straight in. He wanted to give him time to settle in. He said Altay Bayindir was playing when he came in, and he said he needed to give LAMMENS time, and I think that's something that kind of makes a lot of sense. When you're coming to a new league, you're coming to a new country, it is always difficult to kind of sometimes settle in, and I think that's something that AMORIM has given LAMMENS that time. And I think now going forward, he will be that starting goalkeeper for Manchester United. He had a very, very good performance, but one thing that I noticed was his distribution with both feet. Now, it wasn't the greatest, it wasn't finding the play each time, but it gives you that variation. His ability to claim crosses is way better than what we've seen from Onana and Bayindir so far. And listen, it's just nice to go into a game not having to kind of worry about your goalkeeper. Yes, he could make mistakes along the line. He is still a young keeper, but he just looks more comfortable. He looks like a better player than Bayindir anyway. And I think for a goalkeeper so young, his debut was a massive statement, and I think it was a class debut. He did what he needed to do, and ultimately he got the result for Manchester United. So yeah, that's something that is obviously huge for Manchester United. Getting that goalkeeper to have a performance like that is always a positive, and I think he said LAMMENS did really well. We are a competitive and adult team today. We need to win these games, and a clean sheet good for us. So Ruben Amorim's obviously happy with LAMMENS. Now the second thing, Sesko scores again. I thought Sesko was very, very good yesterday, not only at scoring, but also his ability to hold up play. I found that he was getting involved in the game. And again, this is another goal, 2 goals now in 2 games, his first Old Trafford goal. I think that's something that he can definitely work to improve. I think the next game, obviously being Liverpool, is a very, very tough game, but ultimately he should be striving to score goals in every game. And I think what we've seen so far is that ambition, that tenacity and that quality, and his overall play was very, very good yesterday. And you look at times last season where we've seen Højlund or Xerxes, whoever's been playing in strike and not really being involved in the game. I think what we saw from Sesko yesterday, his ability to drop deep and get involved. He was also defending very, very good as well. So yeah, all in all, I was very, very happy with what he kind of had to offer in the game. And yeah, I thought he had a good performance. The goal, again, it's just comes from a long throw-in, but you have to be in the right position at the right time. And I think that's ultimately something that he's obviously not worked on, because he has that instinct, but it's great for him to be in that right position. Now, number 3, I think the intensity for Manchester United, it was there from the get-go. And I think that intensity we know United can have. It's all about showing it every game. I think you look at the game against Brentford, you look at the game against City, there were moments in the game where we showed intensity, but we can't show it throughout the game. And I thought the one thing that we kind of noticed was United weren't pressing as intensely as they usually do. It was intensity when we needed to press, but it was a much more controlled performance. And I think in possession we were fantastic, moving the ball. Nice bits of play from Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Yoro, Ahmad as well. Ahmad, by the way, he had a very, very good performance as well at right wing back. I think you missed his energy and quality. And Burma as well, but that intensity is something that we need to see every game, and we know United can do on the one-off game. The hardest thing is using the result that we got yesterday against Sunderland to build momentum, build some sort of run of games. Yes, we have Liverpool next, but listen, Liverpool are not on, like, they're a way better team than we are, but they've lost 3 games in a row, so they probably will beat us. But I think you have to go into that game looking for a result, and I think that's ultimately something United will do. I think the intensity was there, the quality was there, and ultimately the fight. Now, as I said, the biggest thing is not get carried away. Is, can we do this in 2 or 3 games in a row? And that's something that United have struggled, not even just under AMORIM, under Ten Hag and the previous managers, to get that run of consistency. Now, Number 4, Mason Mount. I think I'm focusing a lot on individuals here, but it was a good team performance. But Mason Mount, his goal yesterday was fantastic. It was a great ball in from Mbeumo. A great touch, a great goal. And we know Mason Mount can score goals, and I think he's a player who's going under the radar. It's difficult for him to because of injuries, but we know there's a quality player in there, someone that is internally very, very rated at Manchester United. And we've seen his quality kind of not develop because we always knew he was there, but it's just all about getting him in the pitch. And I think if you look at the first few games, he started against Arsenal, he started against Fulham. He's a player that Ruben Amorim really rates. You can see that, and he said after the game he's 100% behind the gaffer. It's always good for him to get a goal as well in front of the Stretford end. He hasn't scored many goals for Manchester United, and I think his performance yesterday probably deserved a goal. So yeah, listen, all in all, Mason Mount, hopefully he can stay fit and hopefully keep the performances up, because again, he needs Cunha and Mount in that left 10. I think looked like a bit of good competition there. You got Mbeumo in the 10. You can have Bruno there as well. So there is good competition. You always need ideally 2 or even 3 quality players per position. And I think that's something that Mason Mount adds. Now, number 5, a huge win for Ruben Amorim. Now, it was a massive result for him. I think that was kind of the most important thing, getting the result. He said we were an adult team. He said we understand that it's a long season, everyone needs to play. It's a long season, we have a lot of problems, anything can happen. The important thing that the teammates helped LAMMENS to have a very good performance. And I think Ruben Amorim was ultimately happy. He said it's frustrating to not have this kind of performance again. We need to do this performance away as well. It's our responsibility to play like this. And that is correct. Listen, we can't do it one game and then switch off the next game. We need to do it not every single game, because obviously I'm going to be off games. The aim is to kind of do it every single game, and to now get 3 points, which is huge. A clean sheet, which again gives us more momentum. If you wanted to look at the table position, which again is still a long way to go, and we're not going to win the league or anything, but if you look at the position that we're in now, it's not a bad position to be in. If you look at the teams we played as well in our games. Look at the table, we are 9th in the table. Obviously a few teams below us and above us have got to play. But in the 7 games, we played Chelsea in there, Arsenal and Manchester City in first 3 of those 7 games. Beating Chelsea, obviously losing to Arsenal, losing to City. But we have had wins in there, beating Sunderland, beating Burnley, beating Chelsea. So there are wins in there. Obviously that draw as well. Against Fulham takes us up to 10 points. But yeah, listen, you look at looking at who's in 4th and 5th. Bournemouth are on 14, Chelsea are on 11. So there are kind of opportunities there. Obviously we've got some tough games coming up. It's all about United looking to build momentum from the result that we've just got against Sunderland. But let me know your thoughts. Who was your man of the match? I think it was LAMMENS. I think he had the best performance. Sesko was also good. But I think LAMMENS, for to have a debut like that, keep a clean sheet and look like a calming presence, was ultimately very, very positive.